What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about the Fibonacci retracement tool today. We're going to be going over how I set it up. Maybe you like the settings that I have it to. You're trying to set it up yourself, get the same readings to use it for yourself. I'm not going to go over how the Fib tool works in this video. I'm just going to go over like how to set it up and use the settings. Maybe you know how it works, maybe you don't. This is more of a video about how to set it up the way that I have it set up personally. I will go over a more in-depth video on the Fib retracement tool in a separate video, but this is just supposed to be a quick little crash course into establishing it, making it look nice and clean, getting all the useful things in there, and just knowing how to navigate it essentially if you want to set it up yourself. So I was at Google at the homepage there. I type in tradingview.com. I'm just going to go to Bitcoin. Why not? And click these lines here because it is a white screen. Go to dark mode. I like that personally more. If you pull up the Fib tool, it actually won't look like this. I messed with it a second ago. Most tools, whenever you pull it up, it'll look something like this, right? But the bars will have this little like background in it. Personally, I find that distracting. I'd rather. I know it might look nice at first to some people, and if you like it, keep it. It's fine. It's no big deal. I just think it looks cleaner with just the lines. That's all I need. I don't need the cloud in between, so I think that's fine for me. I do like to set the magnet up on TradingView so that I don't have to play this guessing around game as far as the lows go. I can just set it right there. I can set the high wherever the high is, blah, blah, blah. And you'll notice that it's really thin. On my tool, I like to extend the lines right. I don't really extend the lines left because if you're doing it right, you're not going to be looking in the past. Like, you reference the past with your anchor points, right, from high to low, and then you're looking forward, right? That you're not looking at the past. I mean, maybe it works, but I don't think so. In my opinion, from what I've seen, you should base it off of the present, the future after these anchor points are set, right? And these are your anchor points. Just if you want a little terminology, anchor 1, anchor 2, that's the points that they are anchored to on your chart, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, getting back into the fibs here, I like to extend it right. I like to have this background invisible, set it to 0, right? Not dense, 0, but if you like it, set it up however you want. You've got all these options here that are unchecked, right? You've got all these options that are checked. I actually made this the 4236 for whatever reason, or maybe that's already on there. I don't know. I did mess with it a little bit before the video, but you can click all these if you want. I do have them all on mine. I have them all unchecked because that's how I use it, and I've got them all set up to specific things. Let's see. I've got the 618. I like to have the 69 set up, so 0.69 right there. Okay, and yeah, then I also like to make it white because I think white just stands out on black, right? So there's that classic white zone. As far as the colors go, it doesn't really matter. Like, I mean, set it up in whatever color you want. I like to make this the white zone because, again, it does stand out on black. And being that is the golden retracement area, I do find that oftentimes you will go a little bit past the 618, which the 618 is the golden retracement. So 618 to 69. 69 tends to be that area where you tip out at the most. Like, you won't really go too much past that. If you do, you're going to go to your 786. But that's more on the Fib theory stuff, not just like the settings. So I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. That's for another video. But to the reason, I want to touch on the reason why some people might be getting different numbers on their charts. Top to bottom here, you can see the 618's at 45,000, okay? If you put your chart in log, it's now at 44,745, right? It shifts a little bit. And the reason for that is I have this set to fib levels based on log scale. Now, for most of you, it actually won't come checked, right? It'll look like this. If you put it, if you have it like this, and you click the fib again, you scroll down, it gives it as an option, but you can't click it. So make sure that your chart is in log if you want to use that, and then make sure that your fib scale is set to fib levels based on log scale. Now, I've heard a bunch of people talk about why logarithmic scales are better. I've heard a lot of people talk about why linear scales are better, that linear is just whenever it's not in log or it's a standard price chart. I don't care. and I don't really think, I mean, you should care, but care for it in the sense of like what makes sense to you, what works for you. To me, logarithmic is like the only way. It makes sense to me. I know plenty of people, and I have done technical analysis on charts without it being in the log scale and still found significance, okay? Prime example here, I'll show you. Go for it right here. Delete the ad. Let's see. All right. Maybe on the monthly. Let's go to the monthly. So top to bottom here on the log scale, Bitcoin tipped its 786. Okay. By the way, also before we get into that, I'm going to switch this 3 out, put it in with the 886. I do like to have the 886 on there. We'll make it this color, whatever. 786, 886, I think are very important. 618, 69 area, I do find significance as well. The 0.5, the 382, the 236, and if you want, at times, it's not always, but at times I do find significance. Gonna have to reload it because I don't want to sign in. Top to bottom. At times I do find significance on the 0.069, which would be like just above your zero line here. So I do at times find significance on that. But what I'm trying to get to is, you can see here in the linear scale, it's not in log right now. The fibs aren't in log. You tipped your 618. If we put this in the log scale, you've now tipped your 786. So, you know, somewhat significant on however you want to look at it. You know, it doesn't really, it does matter. Don't get me wrong, like it matters, but it only matters to you. It really doesn't matter as far as like which one is better. They're both good. They're both better. It's whatever's better for you is better. So if you want to use log, if you don't want to use log, that's totally up to you. Mess around with it. Just because I use log doesn't mean you have to use log. Mess around with it. See if you personally can find more significance and it's of more help to you. You get more standard and what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent readings with whichever one. I do like the log. I just feel like that makes sense to me, but linear also makes sense. You know, it can be right either way. And I'm just saying the same stuff over and over again. So I'm gonna stop saying that. And I do want to go over just kind of a general run through of all the nonsense that I've been maybe not nonsense, but all the mouth vomit that I've been laying out for the past like 10 minutes now. Let's see. So as far as all these deeper extensions go, anything that's past the 1272, the 1618 area, those are deeper extensions. I do personally like to have the 1886 thrown on there. I'm just going to get rid of this 4414, 1.886. I do like having that. I don't like them all to be, I mean, like, I don't care what color they are. I just don't like to have like the same colors back to back, right? Unless it's like the golden zone. That's like the only specific area that I will have that. But really, I would say that all of these numbers so far, these are the only ones, all these fib levels are the only ones that I really like. I like the 069. I find relevance on it every now and then. Occasionally, it's not the most relevant. The 236 and the 382 are definitely necessary. 0.5, 618. I like the 69, though you don't have to have it on there if you don't want to use it. But oftentimes, you know, as you use the fibs, tell me if I'm wrong, man, it'll go a little bit past the 618 and actually hit that 69.7 area. But I like the 786, the 886. I feel like anything really, like truthfully, from the 1886 all the way down to the 0.069, to me, those are all very useful fibs. Now, I also do like the 2272. As far as like a deep fib goes, I think really the 2272 to the 2618 is very important. Sometimes you find significance on your 2414. Anything past that is up to you to decide. Now you could take this thing as high as like a 2618, right? Like it really could go that high. Let me just show you, right? BTC USD. Let's go to the index here. You're on log, yes. Let's take our first all-time high to our first bear cycle low. You can see here, right, you found significance on your 3272. You're finding support on it here. You're finding resistance at your 3618 right now, you know, stuff like that. If you find significance doing long-term based fib extensions, go for it. You know, it's up to you. I'm trying to think. 4272, 3414. I'll get rid of that one. I'll change it into like let's do 20.618. Yeah. So that is going to be way off the charts, right? I mean, damn, like way up there, man. And on a log chart, that might not be useful. But on a linear chart, we take it out of log now. You can see the 2618 right here. It actually is in line with, well, it's not in line really with anything, to be completely fair, but it does show up on the chart is what I'm trying to say. So those deeper extensions might be more at play on a linear chart than they would be on a log chart. And let's just see. I mean, there, I don't know. It's not really showing up as anything significant. You know, I said that the 2618 could be something that you could do. That doesn't mean that it is going to be significant. You're not going to find significance on every single fib that you draw, but I'm just saying you could take it up. The reason I brought up the 2618 at all is because you could take it as high as you want to. It doesn't have to be subjected just to the 2618 and lower or the 4618 and lower. You know, you can take it as high as you want. If you're finding significance on it, that's the main thing that matters, right? So play around with it. I hope I've given you enough to like go from there. Really, you know, the way to navigate it is, again, you just draw it here. Make sure you're in log if you want to do it the same way I do it. And if not, that's okay, that's fine. Everybody does it their own way. I extend the lines to the right. I make sure the background is not dense. And then I base it off a fib scale. That's it, essentially. That's a nice condensed 30-second version compared to all the word vomit that I've given over the past probably like 15 minutes now. So if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming. If I've left anything to be questioned, I haven't answered every question, please leave a comment. I'll go over it in the next one. Yes, if your questions involve going more in depth in the fibs, I know. This wasn't anything about like teaching you how to use it, just more of how to set it up. Okay, so I will go over how to use it, but you saw how long it took me to just process like getting the settings set up. It's going to take a lot longer, and I just don't have the time tonight or most nights really to go over that. You know, especially with all the requests I got to do. I'm already going to be up late tonight, man. So I will see you guys on the next one. Enough about me. I will do a fib video with like how to use the fib soon, very, very soon. I know a lot of you request that. So hopefully sometime this week, I'm going to make it a point to have it happen within the next, maybe even the next like 3 days, honestly. But watch out for that one. Yeah, that'll be a little bit more of an in-depth video. Anyways, hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.